If I had only known the last time would be the last time, I would have put off all the things I had to do. I would have stayed a little longer, held on a little tighter. Now what I'd give for one more day with you. Cause there's a wound here in my heart where something's missing, and they tell me that it's gonna heal with time. But I know you're in a place where all your wounds have been erased, and knowing yours are healed is healing mine. The only scars in heaven that won't belong to me and you. There'll be no such thing as broken, and all the old will be made new. And the thought that makes me smile now, even as the tears fall down, is that the only scars in heaven are on the hands that hold you now.
Good afternoon. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Carmel Maya. I'm one of Edith's sisters. I will be leading the memorial service today, which is a real honor, the celebration of Edith's life. On behalf of Keith, Ahmed, Jeremy, and Anika, I would like to welcome everyone who has joined us in person, as well as those who are doing so virtually. Today we will honor and pay tribute to Edith by sharing some stories and special memories about her. The celebration has been planned according to Edith's wishes. She wanted family to do some of the things during the celebration, and she also picked some of the songs that you're going to be hearing today. At this time, I would like to call upon Jeanette Pinette, a niece of Edith's, to come up and share some messages and stories received in honor of Edith. And Garvin Pinette, Janelle's brother, will be here to offer Janelle support and step in if needed.
This is a message from Edith's friend, Eulogy. Growing up in a small rural community meant that nothing very exciting ever happened. We spent quite a few Sundays driving around St. Rose with Camille as the chauffeur. We never got into too much trouble, even though we attended a few house parties and tried to learn how to smoke under the bridge on the edge of town. Edith coached my sister's baseball team. She was a quiet person who never made too much noise. Edith was always a true friend. She could always be counted on for support or help. It is a trait that she kept throughout her adulthood. Even when she suffered great losses in her life, her inner strength and her love of family kept her going. I always wished I could have been more like her. I miss her terribly. This is a message from Rosita Bouchard, Edith's sister. Growing up, Edith was my older sister, whom I looked up to. Later on, she became one of my best friends and my confidant. In my early 20s, I was headed in the wrong direction, and she guided me the right way. She was never one to judge, and I knew I could confide in her. She was my mentor. She let me move in with her, Keith and Scott, when I was between jobs, and she never expected anything in return. I remember one time after an evening function, we were giving her a ride home. We had just dropped off Jocelyn, and there was an inebriated man laying on the ground. Edith went up to him to make sure that he was all right. That's the kind of person that she was. Always ready to help people, a completely selfless person. I'll miss you so much, my sister. This is a poem that I wrote. I am missed from you. The relationships we have and the memories we share are the greatest and most precious gift you sisters could ever give us cousins. I am grateful for this from you. I am not one to talk about myself. Like you, I am an empathic listener. But when we were alone, somehow, I always found myself to be the one doing all the talking. I am this from you. Your faith in your spirituality, certainty in the afterlife, and openness to share those with me helped me to truly accept who I am and what it is that I believe. It gave me the courage to trust in that which I know I am. I am strong in my convictions. I know you are here. I feel you in the moon. I see you in the owl. I hear you in the clinking of the ice in the glass. I smell you in the percolating coffee. In the deepest parts of me, I know this to be true. I feel you. I am this because of you. I hold on so dearly to the ways that you loved me. So fully, so acceptingly, so encouragingly, truly unconditionally. I know the importance of being an auntie because of you. I'm so lucky to be loved by you. I will remember you. I am missed from you. One more hug, one more lunch date, one more encouraging right on, one more peppermint, one more I love you is all we wanted. But now we find comfort in knowing that you're wrapped in an eternity of Scott's big bear hugs and laughing your brightest laughs with Giselle, because we know it's not goodbye forever. We will meet you all there.
Thank you, Garvin, for being Janelle's support, and Janelle. And to Angel, Rosita, and Janelle for the beautiful memories, thoughts, and poems. From these messages, it's apparent that he can touch so many people's life. family, friends, and strangers by just being the caring and giving person she was. And Angel, I do need to say Rosita and I do recall a party that took place when Mom and Dad were away. It went on all night, and when we woke up in the morning, the old record player was still warm to touch. So the part about not getting into too much trouble could probably be debatable. We know that although Edith and Giselle had that party, they treated Rosita and I to a horseback ride the next day. Condolences. Dennis Pinette, Edith's brother, will come up to read a condolence message from Diane Scott, who is one of Edith's cousins. Diane isn't here, but thank you so much, Diane, for the beautiful message. And this will be followed by the eulogy, which Keith wrote for his mom.
Thank you, Carmel. As Carmel mentioned, this is was a memory shared by Diane Scott, Tian Rigaud, one of our many first cousins. Despite the fact that we lived 1,000 miles apart for most of our lives, our adult lives, Edithe was so very special to me. She was such a great friend to me through some tough middle school years. I lived for my week with her big fun-loving family every summer in St. Andy, just as she loved visiting me in the city where I lived. We even made a pact that we would name our first daughters after each other. We both had 2 boys, so that promise was never tested. Edithe was also very kind to my parents when they became elderly, visiting them as she could in the assisted living, and later my mom in Action Marguerite. Then, after those visits, she would give me an update. I will always be grateful for that kindness. Keith, you may miss her like crazy, as will Annika and Jeremy, and Arnel, and her beautiful big family. But I hope you can, in time, rejoice at the blessing of having had her in your lives. She was a very special, loving person, and a gift to all who knew her. Sincerest condolences for your loss. Her heart will live on in all those she touched. Thank you very much for those words to our cousins. Yeah. So, hello. Most of you know me, but for those who don't, I'm Dennis, Edithe, as it's called me, one of her 5 brothers. Keith composed this eulogy, and I'm honored that he has given me this opportunity to share it with you. Everyone should be so blessed to have one person in their life who truly listens to them and by whom they feel totally accepted and loved. Edithe was this person for so many people. Being with her was like coming indoors after being outside on a cold winter's day. She radiated warmth and a sense of comfort to all who were fortunate enough to know her. One of the middle kids in a family of 16 children, Edithe was a natural caregiver who helped to look after her younger siblings and always wanted to make sure everyone was happy and doing okay. This desire to make her siblings happy displayed itself at an early age, when Edithe decided to make her brothers and sisters a special treat. She went over to the Pinette family store to get the ingredients she needed. Her creation consisted of a brick of Neapolitan ice cream, covered in coconut and topped with beautiful pink candies. By all accounts, the treat itself was delicious and made her siblings quite happy. But it did cause some alarm for Edith's mother, Alice, when Alice discovered that the beautiful pink candies were really aspirin, and she had no idea how much each child had. Edith inherited a mischievous streak from her father, Frederick. And though many viewed her as a soft-spoken and well-behaved child, her tenant side would come out from time to time. One such example comes from her school years, when Edith noticed that the chocolate bars she occasionally brought to school as a treat were disappearing. After a period of investigation, Edith identified the culprit and decided to take matters into her own hands by bringing some extra special chocolate to school. She brought the well-known laxative X-Lax to school. She wrapped the X-Lax in the chocolate bar wrapper and left it in her desk for the culprit to find. Needless to say, her chocolate bars were safe after that. Edith had a complicated relationship with cars. One day as a teen, she was practicing her reversing skills using Fred's car. Being an expert at driving in reverse, she decided to make things a little more difficult by leaving the driver's door open and ended up driving the car right into the porch of the family home, twisting and bending the car door. Much panic ensued, which included mad hammering on the door to try to remove the dent and to bend it back into shape before Frederick woke up from his afternoon nap. Later in life, Edith could be seen driving around town in her green Duster. This car was temperamental and was known to sputter and stop without warning, as well as to play Rod Stewart's song on repeat, that you think I'm sexy. Edith not so lovingly referred to this car as cochon, or pig. She used the term so often that her boys, Scott and Keith, grew up thinking that the word for car was actually cochon. They would start pointing. They would point at passing cars, yelling, cochon, cochon. It's actually pig. Like all Pinettes, Edith had a sweet tooth. And her brother, myself, said, all Pinettes love desserts. If they say they don't, they're not a Pinette, or they are bullshitting. She enjoyed all kinds of sweets and baking, but had a particular fondness for Scotch mint peppermints. It would be a rare occurrence to find Edith without a peppermint nearby. In fact, she left peppermints everywhere, in her jacket pockets, on the floor, on and in the couch, in her car, in the dryer. This habit of leaving peppermints everywhere led her sons to tease her by saying she could never run away, because one would only need to follow the trail of peppermints to find her. So when Keith and Scott were just 3 and 1, Edith decided that she was going to stop drinking so that she could be a good mother for her boys. This one simple act of love had far-reaching consequences that changed many lives. To help her with her battle with alcohol, Edith joined AA, and through her dedication to the program, she did not have a drink for over 44 years. Actually, this October would have been her 45th year. For Edith, AA wasn't just about her sobriety. It was an opportunity for her to help others. Called Mother Teresa of AA by one of her friends, Edith sponsored countless people throughout her years in the program and was always ready to help anyone in need. Though not a counselor by profession, she had the natural skills you would want a good counselor to have. She listened, she cared, and she brought hope. Because of these traits, The people she met in AA often became lifelong friends, and Edithe's life was as enriched by the people she encountered and sponsored in AA as they were by knowing her. One of the most important parts of Edithe's life was her large family. She was devoted daughter, sister, sister-in-law, and aunt. She drew strength and comfort from her family and often sought shelter with them in difficult times. Edithe loved large family gatherings and always took time to talk to everyone to see how they were doing. She was such a great listener that she would get everyone talking. By the end of the night, would know the details of everyone's life. This ability served Edithe well in her capacity as one of the cornerstones of the Pinette grapevine, and she was always up to date on the latest family news. One event that Edithe always looked forward to the most was the famous Sister Weekend Getaways, where all the sisters get together for some bonding time. Unfortunately, not much can be said about these events, because what happens at Sisters Weekend stays at Club Region. A side note, her brothers were invited once and only once to show up at one of these weekends. And that stays at. If Edithe got her mischievous side from her father, she got her patience from her mother Alice, a quality she needed in raising Keith and Scott. Infamous for their epic fighting when they were younger, Edithe had a gentle and calm guiding hand. That meant that fights were resolved by taking the boys' glasses and getting out of the way. Advice was offered, but never forced, and hugs and words of encouragement were always given in abundance. Edithe was a selfless mother who always placed her boys' needs before her own. Scott and Keith never doubted that they were loved, and they learned what it meant to be a caring and strong person by watching their mother in action. Along with her large family and 2 boys, Edithe had 3 other special lights in her life: Edithe, Eulogy, and Edithe. Edithe was like the daughter Edithe never had. And Edithe welcomed her into the family with open arms. Edithe taught the world of Edithe and was one of her biggest cheerleaders, never failing to praise Edithe for being a great person and an amazing mother. For Eulogy and Edithe, Grandmère Pinette was simply the best. And for Edithe, they were little stars that always brought a smile to her face. Edithe was forever spoiling her grandchildren with gifts and was always there for them, whether she was down on the floor playing with Barbies or cars. Now, Edithe suffered from arthritis, but this would not prevent her from getting down and enjoying these precious moments with her grandkids. Nor would she miss attending swimming lessons, gymnastics, baseball, curling games, or a taekwondo class. Edithe was a doting and loving grandparent who would let everyone know how much joy her grandchildren brought into her life. And that I know. In phone calls, we talk about her grandkids. It would be hard to put into words the impact Edithe had on other people's lives. When considering how to take measure of a person's life, Scott wrote the following: "We can't measure our lives by the amount of money we amass by the time we die. How does that leave our mark? We can't measure our lives by the possessions we own. We can't take them with us. We can only measure our lives by the effect we have upon others. How many lives have I lightened? How many times have I made a sad friend smile? How many times have I provided a shoulder to cry on? That's how we make our mark. It's not how many people that remember us, it's how we're remembered. So, though he is not here to tell us himself, it is certain that Scott's words were inspired by the example his mother set for him. When you remember Edithe, please remember her welcoming hugs, her gentle smile, her strength of spirit, her capacity to love, and the warmth she never failed to provide on the cold and winter day. Keith, these are beautiful words for a beautiful lady.
On behalf of Keith, Ahmed, Jeremy, and Edithe, thank you so much for delivering the eulogy. Keith, you truly captured the essence of your mom. The descriptor you used, being with her, was like coming indoors after being outside on a cold winter's day. There is no better way to describe how she made everyone feel. Your eulogy is such a beautiful tribute to her. She would be honored. We will now have
I'm going home where love is waiting. I'm going home, so do not cry. And when I go, I won't be walking, 'cause I'll have wings to fly. Oh, and I will have a garden with flowers at my side, with a silver rain from angels. My garden will never die. I'm going home where love is waiting. I'm going home, so do not cry. And when I go, I won't be walking, 'cause I'll have wings to fly. Oh, my friends will come to meet me. My family will gather too. Oh, and when your time is over, I'll be waiting here for you. I'm going home where love is waiting. I'm going home, so do not cry. And when I go, I won't be walking, 'cause I'll have wings to fly. And when I go, I won't be walking, 'cause I'll have wings to I'm going home where love is waiting. I'm going home, so do not cry. And when I go, I won't be walking, 'cause I'll have wings to fly. Oh, and I will have a garden with flowers at my side, with a silver rain from angels. My garden will never die. I'm going home where love is waiting. I'm going home, so do not cry. And when I go, I won't be walking, 'cause I'll have wings to fly. Oh, my friends will come to meet me. My family will gather too. Oh, and when your time is over, I'll be waiting.
God, give me the strength to accept the things that cannot change, the courage to change the things that can, and the wisdom to know the difference. One day at a time.
Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
Thank you, Suzanne and Jocelyn. Keith, Edithe, and Jamie and Edithe would like to express their sincere thanks to each and every one of you for coming out to honor Edith. They acknowledge that so many more would have liked to join the celebration in person. However, we're unable to do so due to current restrictions. Therefore, they want to thank you for taking the time to attend the service virtually instead. We would also like to thank everyone for all of the support you've given them and continue to give them during this very difficult time. This is very much appreciated. The family wishes to extend a welcome to everyone present to join them for the reception immediately following the celebration. There are 2 reception areas where food will be served. Due to the public health restrictions, you must be seated at a table to eat. However, you can feel free to sit and mingle in the various other locations in the facility while not eating. Keith, Armel, Jeremy, and Edithe will remain in the reception room, the far reception room, to eat, and once they are done, we'll circulate around the facility, giving you a chance to offer your condolences should you wish to do so. In closing, I have one final message. Edith, You are so very special and dear to all of us. A mom, a grand-mère, a sister, sister-in-law, aunt, friend. I called her your mom, Madame, because she was your mom. That's why I didn't say mother-in-law. You have been a rock to many, and always there when anyone was in need. We wish we could have been by your side to bring you comfort during your illness. However you cope with the situation, as you did, but everything else. With such strength and consideration for everyone, often asking about others' welfare, rather than speaking about your own. We have all been blessed to have you in our life. We will miss you tremendously. We love you. We will cherish the memories we have of you, and you will be forever in our heart. As you used to say, LOL. Lots of love from all of us. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Please rise for the funeral.
What